tonight, you'll see those same twin sisters admit to brutally killing their mother. This week, 11 Alive cracked open the case file of Jasmiya and
Tonight, you will see right here on 11 Alive. Teenage twin sisters who said they found their mother dead, but later confessed to killing her.
For months, they lied to police. For years, they lived with the crime. And we have to warn you here, what you're about to see is very graphic.
It is important for you to hear the truth about what really happened inside that house between those twins and their mother.
Hello guys, welcome and welcome back to our channel True Crime Tales. Join us as we take a look at how events unfolded in various crimes around the world. Our focus is on the details, evidence, theories, victims, investigations and mystery found in these crimes. If you wish to see more of our videos, please remember to subscribe, ring the notification bell so that you'll get an update of each and every video that we upload over here. I'll be your host, Joan. In today's episode, we look at the sad story of 34-year-old Nikki Whitehead, whose life was brutally ended by her twin daughters. Nikki Whitehead was born as Jamaica Yvonne Whitehead and spent almost her entire life with the grandmother before she moved out. She never had the luxury of spending time with her parents. There's little to no information about her father. Her mother, Linda Whitehead, had her own troubles that led her to spend some of her time in prison. That is why Nikki had to be raised by her grandmother. Nikki's mother, Linda, gave birth to her while in prison. Nikki's grandmother, Della Frazier, had to take up the role of being Nikki's mother. Growing up, one will say that her life wasn't as normal as that of her age mates. At the age of 17, she got pregnant with her twins, Tasmiya and Jasmiya. Unfortunately for her, the twins' father disappeared from their picture. He is believed that he left for Canada and they never saw him again. It was difficult for her as a young mother to raise her kids alone, especially with all the difficulties she herself faced while growing up. Her growth, development, and interactions were never stable. Despite all the challenges she faced, she loved her daughters a lot. She wanted the best for her twin daughters, and those who knew her said that she was a devoted mother who worked and did everything she could to make sure that her kids lacked nothing and enjoyed what she herself didn't have while she was growing. She tried to instill discipline and morals in them. She set boundaries for them out of love, care, and concern, but unfortunately for her, all this was met with resistance and made her relationship with her daughters to be even worse. They had frequent arguments and disagreements. It was clear that the twins didn't want to stay with their mother. They preferred their great-grandmother instead. The Child Protective Services had to be involved since the twins were still minors. By the time they were teenagers, their relationship with Nikki was unbearable. Thus, a decision was made for the twins to go live with their great-grandma for a while. Out of love for her kids, she fought to regain custody of them. She believed they still had a chance to mend their relationship, with hopes of guiding them on the right path. Looks like her wishes were granted because she finally regained their custody, but the real tensions between them never got to be fully resolved. The twins half-heartedly returned to their mom's place, their attitude still the same. They hated the strict rules put across by their mom and her ways of disciplining them. It's like whatever good she did to them was overshadowed by the resentment they had for her. Nikki had gone out of her ways to even put them in music and dance classes. She really wanted them to have the best that life can offer. The twins were straight-A students, so the mom had hoped for them to have a better future and not go stray. The only problem was their resentment. This became more worse when Nikki took away Tasmiya's phone. She forbade her from talking to 17-year-old guys using the phone late at night, and other rules were given too. At one point, she woke up in the middle of the night and discovered one of the twins, Jasmiya, was missing. Out of worries as a mother, she called 911 for help. Later, it was revealed she had sneaked out to see her boyfriend at the age of just 13. That wasn't all. After that incident, another call was made to the police by Nikki. This was few days before Nikki's death. Officer Maya was sent over because of the tensions between mom and daughters. The officer witnessed the intense conflicts and arguments between them. The officer tried to talk to the twins to bring peace in their home, but they still insisted they wanted to go to their great-grandma's place. The officer told them to go to bed and wait for the issue to be solved the next morning. The officer noticed how Nikki had struggled to give the best to the daughters. She talked to all of them and then left the house, but something deep within her told her to still hang around just in case something happened. She was right. After not more than 4 minutes, she heard a scream from the house. The twins were physically attacking their mother. Nikki managed to get away and call 911 again. Officer Maya found Nikki running out of the house. She told them the twins attacked her, but the twins denied the allegations and said it is their mom who physically attacked them, telling them they will not go anywhere. However, the twins had no marks on their bodies, unlike the mom who had scratches on her neck and chest. The twins were charged with assault and were in and out of court after that event. On that fateful day of 30th January 2010, the girls made a call to 911 that their mom had been murdered. The 16-year-old twins told the police that they arrived home from school and found their mom's lifeless body in the bathtub full of her own blood. The police came over to find the body stabbed 80 times with her spine nearly broken. They were taken to the police station to give their statement.
And what happened?
The kitchen was so down. And I seen the blood all in there on the floor. And I went in there and I seen her.
On the surface, it seemed almost unlikely that two young girls could be suspected of such brutal violence.
They told the police about their mom dating two men at the same time. The intention was to frame one of the two men or both. The story didn't even seem to be true. According to them, Nikki was living with Robert, but she also had Joe as her boyfriend. Robert overheard her speaking to Joe and questioned her about it. At that point, the cops wondered if Robert was to be a suspect. However, the twins' behavior in the interrogation room got their attention, and they were considered to be suspects too.
Something was very, very off.
And cops noticed something even more suspicious.
They would cry a lot, but it was tearless crying. When I would ask them to describe their mother, they were very insulting of their mother.
During the interview, detectives observed the twins still wearing gloves.
Let me see your hands and your arms. What happened here?
I got into a fight.
You get a fight with them.
The police continued to interrogate them, and the more they continued with the interrogations, the more they appeared to be guilty of the crime.
These two girls were hugging each other, and when I said, what can I do to make this easier for you? They turned and looked at me and they said, can we watch CSI? The hairs on the back of my neck stood straight up. Essentially, it was right then, and it was like something was very, very off.
At that time, detectives were still at the crime scene collecting evidence. Bloody shoes were found in the back of their closet, a pair of brown boots with blood, and a clump of hair attached to a generous amount of flesh pulled out of a person's head, then wrapped in a napkin and stuffed into the toe of a shoe. The twins automatically became the main suspects in their mom's murder. However, they were still acting innocent and mourning loss of their mom.
The sinks were completely clean and white. We found shoes in the back of their closet that had blood on them.
And in Taz's bedroom.
There's a pair of brown boots that have a significant amount of blood on them. I found a clump of hair. Normally, a clump of hair is insignificant in a female's house simply because there's hair everywhere. But when that clump of hair is attached to a substantial amount of flesh that has been pulled out of somebody's head and then has been wrapped in a napkin and stuffed into the toe of a shoe, you begin to realize that the twins were not telling us anything that was truthful.
They were asked about how they spent their day on that fateful day. They stated how the bus left them that day, so they walked to school, but CCTV footage showed them hitching a ride from a stranger. They sensed the detectives might be catching up onto them when questions became meetings, and this made them angry. They were separated and questioned separately. Later on, they were released and went to stay with their great-grandmother. Police continued digging into the case, and more evidence against the twins was obtained. This included a dental examination of Nikki's teeth matching the bite mark on Taz's arm. Taz had said that she always beat herself whenever she was upset, but that was not the case. It seems like the mom beat her in self-defense. Second clue was human hair of one of the twins found between Nikki's teeth. 4 months after the horrible incident, the twins were arrested on the last day of school, that was May 21st, 2010, for the horrible murder of their mom. They still maintained their innocence and pleaded not guilty. 4 years later, in 2014, they decided to confess of their crime and pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. This was their confession. The mom had woken them up to prepare for school. The girls physically attacked their mom. She tried to run out of the house to save herself. She went to the house next door and rang the doorbell, but unfortunately the neighbor heard her and didn't wake up to open the door. The twins dragged her back into the house. One of them stabbed her in the stomach multiple times with a kitchen knife, 80 times to be precise, while the other one held her. Then they smashed her head with a vase and choked her with a metal ribbon. She was then dragged into the bathtub, where she told them that, and I quote, "Kill me now or I will kill you all." That is what Just said. Later on, the mom passed away. They staged the crime scene to make it look like someone else ended her life. In the morning, they went to school as if nothing had happened. This was to create an alibi for themselves. Later, when they came back from school, they called 911 to report the incident. They were sentenced to 30 years in prison each. What happened to the mom was indeed sad, and what also happened to the twins was also sad, because all the mom wanted was for her daughters to have the best in life, and she wanted to discipline them and to also mold them into better people in future. While on the other hand, the twins were rebellious because maybe they felt that the mom didn't understand them. It's clear that there was poor communication and also a misunderstanding between the daughters and the mom. For more of these stories and for more updates on this story and other stories too, please remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more updates. Thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you in the next video.